and I wanted to stream again. And so there is a Legend of Zelda game that I played off stream in between that you guys would have missed, and that is Skyward Sword. Gotta be honest, you didn't miss much. It took me, even not streaming, it took me several months to play through Skyward Sword. I did not like it at all. It was pretty terrible, in my opinion. There were a lot of really great ideas. The art style is really good, but the controls are god-awful. I played the remake for the Switch. I attempted to play with motion controls. They were not good. The motion controls were terrible. The Switch was not designed for motion controls, and so the Joy-Cons inevitably and immediately begin drifting the second that you set the aiming and you recalibrate it. It immediately starts drifting. Like, you can watch it on the calibration screen, just like you set it, and it starts drifting immediately. And this is not just like standard Joy-Cons or Joy-Cons that had drift issues. The sensor is on the right Joy-Con, which doesn't have the drift issues that the left one does. And I specifically bought the Skyward Sword Special Edition Motion Plus Joy-Cons, and even those immediately began to drift, like immediately. So I had to play it using the Pro Controller support, which I did, but in order to move the camera, for example, you have to like hold down one of the shoulder buttons and use the right stick, because otherwise, if you touch the right stick, it swings your sword. In all situations, if you accidentally glance the right stick, it swings your sword. All of the enemies are designed with motion in mind, and so then you have to swing the sword in very specific ways to do things. Camera's terrible. It's not good. It was not good. I do not like Fee. The companion in that game, Fee, was incredibly annoying. They actually apparently toned her down in the remake so that she interrupted you less, but she still interrupted you all the time and spoke in kind of this robotic, monotone way of like, Master, there is a 98% chance that this reaction I'm finding comes from Princess Zelda. We should follow it. It's like, yeah, I know, Fee, thank you, that's how this works. Shut up. So that kept happening, and like bosses kept repeating. Like, there were several dungeons and several bosses, and yet you fought like two particular bosses multiple times with not much change between them. Like, you fought Girahim 3 times throughout the game and the Imprisoned 3 or 4 times throughout the game, and the battle was essentially exactly the same every time. So like, the game felt like it would have benefited from being way shorter, because we just kept going back. Like, there was so much repeating. Like, there were 2 like fire type themed places. Like, they were even repeating like themes of areas, and it's like, well, we're going to the volcano again, yay. And it's like, well, this is like pretty much exactly the same. There were some differences, but just generally I noticed that there was a lot of like repeating, of like, I feel like I just did this. And so I'm very frustrated that I have to do it again, and having to like completely travel through and explore the same 3 areas 3 times each. And it just got very, very tedious to me. Fire better than water, though. I object. I like water, watery type stuff, but yeah. I mean, like, one time, like, re-exploring the forest one of the times was fine, because 2 of the times it was forest, and the 3rd time it was completely flooded, so it was underwater at that point. So that was different enough that it was fine. But, like, exploring the entire volcano area, like, 3 times, and it hasn't really changed, it's pretty much exactly the same, was very frustrating. So, I mean, yeah, it's okay. Like, there was potential there, and I just feel like it's not a great game. So it's definitely like my least favorite of the 3D games. I don't intend to ever play it again because it was just downright painful to play. My boyfriend was here while I was playing it. Even just us sitting on the couch, I got so frustrated so often, like in the early game, that it probably took me like 2 months to get through the first 5 hours of the game. I just could not bear to continue playing it for more than like an hour and a half. Like the controls were so bad and I would get so frustrated with how terrible they were. Like eventually I got used to it, but they weren't good. I just got used to how crappy they were. So all of that was missed on stream, which is good because God, I would have never finished it on stream. It would have taken so long. I just could not have done that on stream. So I'm glad that I skipped that one. You guys can play it yourself. Streaming it would be a nightmare.